The first time you did DMT?
Yeah.
Oh, what? I thought you were psyching on, man. I thought you were done.
No, I've done like shit tons of really heavy mushroom trips and stuff, like 10-gram mushroom trips and countless of heavy mushroom trips. But I've never done dimethotrip. What's it called? Dimethyltryptamine before.
Yeah. Oh damn, dude. Yeah. DMT's a whole nother world. But the first time I did it, we fucking did it like 5-6 times in one night. It's kind of a lot. My brain was like, dreams were really trippy for like a couple days after that.
But it feels like you're dreaming while awake. It's that intense. I don't know how to put it.
It really is like a dream because you will forget about it, like what actually happened during it very quickly.
I felt like I was only able to hold on to shards of what happened. I know a lot more happened than I could remember, if that makes sense. Like I was only able to grasp onto parts of it.
It's exactly like a dream in that way. It's just slips out of your hands the moment that you come back to reality.
Wait, you did it too, Sam?
Yeah, I did it in college.
Oh shit, dude.
A friend of mine, a Korean guy actually, I was living at his place in Vancouver, and he ordered the materials online and made it himself in the kitchen.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was wild. Yeah, he was my shaman. The dude was really into it. Yeah, he did it by himself, and then he helped me to do it. And
there's no. I was gonna say you need assistance taking it, right? Like there's no way I could do more than one hit on my own. Like as soon as I did my first full deep hit, I couldn't even see my arms. I was like seeing the pipe and the lighter sort of floating in this weird different dimensional space. I couldn't even see myself anymore. It was so fucking crazy.
I don't even try to do it with my eyes open, man. I close my eyes instantly.
I did it with my eyes.
You could do it with your eyes open.
I did it with my eyes open, Snow, and I shit you not, it was terrifying. Like holy shit! Maybe I'm supposed to do it with my eyes closed.
I was like, nope, not doing this.
The whole room like instantly liquefied into nothing, and then re-digitized into some other fucking dimension in the space of like nanoseconds. It was fucking really full on. It was crazy.
The best way I could describe it was just like cogwheels everywhere. It was like a.
Well, eventually it was like infinite ceilings and infinite floors interacting with each other, like some kind of like interdimensional tesseract. Is the only way I can explain it.
Yeah.
There was things moving through me. I could feel like slimy, not slimy, but for lack of a better word, something weird pushing through my body like it was made out of water. Like there was things interacting with me as if I had no matter.
I think you guys might have taken something like a different form of DMT than I did, because I didn't even have a sense of self when I did it. I took 3 hits, and
I'm talking about like on the come down. I'm talking about on the come down.
When I broke, like the one like out of like the 4 or 5 times I did it, I only broke on one of them. And the one that I broke, I remember like saying out loud, like, "Guys, I think I died."
I was dying when I first did it. I was like, "Holy shit!" If I like I don't know how to explain it, but I had like 1,000 thoughts in the space of like 1 second, and it was like, as far as I was concerned, I might as well have just smoked a nuclear bomb, and I was like playing frame by frame, me killing myself. It was fucking weird.
Well, the feeling of like dying or like being pulled apart is like ego death. And the first hit, you feel like the separation coming, and it's really frightening and scary, like hard to take another hit. But the Korean guy that I was with, he was holding the pipe, and like as I was inhaling the first hit, he was preparing the second hit. And like the moment that I was done, like exhaling, he was ready with the next hit, and then the next hit. Like he was on top of it. And there was nothing. There was nowhere else. There was nowhere to run. You know, he was there and he was ready. And it was like, yeah.
It's good that you had someone to assist you, man.
Did you do like DMT weed, like stack the sandwich?
No, like a
straight powder.
It's like a little. It's funny because he would make fun of me because he would play off of my emotions, like because it was actually like a meth pipe. You know what I mean? Like a glass pipe with a little bowl at the end and a hole in the top. It's like what people smoke meth out of. But you know, I'd be like, oh, we're gonna do DMT. No, you're gonna smoke out of this pipe. Like, this pipe? No, this meth pipe. You mean, Scott?
I mean,
he was messing with me, you know.
Oh my gosh.
But that's the best way to do it. It has to be like,
you have to do it that way.
It has to be like vaporized. You know what I mean? You can't.
I actually hit mine out of a vape.
Oh yeah,
it was like a DMT vape.
I've seen those before, and I've used those before, but it's not as intense. Not as intense at all. Yeah.
So what's different from like a DMT vaporizer to say a regular dry herb vaporizer for weed?
You're talking about like a wax pen compared to a DMT pen?
Yeah, I'm just trying to like figure out like what's the process of burning it specifically for DMT. Like, is there a certain temperature threshold you need to reach? Or like what?
I don't know the science behind it, to be honest.
I think it's a temperature thing. Like it gets really, really hot in a glass pipe. Like you need it to be, extremely hot. And then right as you, like it heats up really, really hot inside the glass pipe. And then like right as you inhale, it just completely turns into smoke and goes.
That's basically how I did mine. Yeah. I did mine in a glass pipe.
Yeah, I think that's how you have to do it. I have done what you were talking about, Lovesnow, like the little vape pen, and you can feel it. Like there is the feeling of separation.
More controlled though.
But it's basically like you only get to basically the first hit level. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
And
I did 3 hits, like 3 like as deep of an inhale as I could. Exhale, instantly felt it. I was still holding it in my hand. Went for the second one. Deepest hit I could fucking do. Exhaled, and then like my hand was starting to like release, like I couldn't hold it much longer, and I just like did again, like went to inhale it, was going for the deepest hit possible I could do, and then like my hand just like my body just like went limp, like I just was on the floor when I was doing this and just laid out, and like it just fell out of my hand, and then just went there, man.
Well, I didn't feel like I could even like control my arms even after my first deep hit. Like I like instantly started blasting off.
More smoke with the pipe.
For sure.
I did a really deep hit, and I just like
need somebody. You need somebody to hold it for you. Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean,
I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it myself. Like we tried one time, and same thing. Like my hand just went down, and he was like, "Come on, do it again," and I couldn't lift my hand. So
I felt like I couldn't even. I felt like I couldn't even after I came down from the initial intensity of the trip, and I had a little bit of a sense of self. I didn't even feel like I could control my arms or was aware of what orientation they were. You know what I mean?
Well, it's crazy. Like I remember laying on the floor, like after I came, like as I was coming down, and I was looking up at my hand, and I could see through my hand, and there was like energy moving through my fingers, and then I stood up and went to the kitchen sink and started doing dishes, and everything was fine. It was like within seconds I was back to normal, just like waking up from a dream.
It's very fast, 100%. Yeah.
But what was the experience like as you're exhaling the first hit? Because mine was so fucking sudden and crazy.
Yeah,
it's fast as fuck.
It's really, really fast. Like I was saying, like the feeling of separation of like your mind being pulled out the back of your head. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I felt like I was little ego death. It's scary.
I felt like I was getting atomized. Like I literally like disintegrated and ceased to exist.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being terrified trying it. Like I was like there was a couple times my buddy next to me that was like my shaman that night that was doing it. And he just was doing it a couple times, like next to me. We're both laying on the floor. And then finally I built up the courage to try it because I was curious, Mm-hmm. And like I remember like the first thing I did, dude, was like check my vitals. Like I was like,
right.
Okay. Heart rate's normal. Okay. I'm breathing. Okay. My body's here. I'm alive. Okay. Let's play. I remember like checking my vitals, man. That was the first thing I did. It was so different. So different than acid and mushrooms and peyote and
Well,
mescaline and all that shit, man.
it felt a little bit like mushrooms as I was inhaling. It was like suddenly I was induced into a deep mushroom trip as I was inhaling. But the moment I exhaled, that was like nothing compared to what happened next. Like the deep mushroom trip was like just a canvas, and then all of a sudden it was like fucking full blown rocket ship ride.
It feels like you're exhaling your last breath. You're just like, oh my god.
I felt like I was dying with it.
Yeah.
I felt like the universe was laughing at me for being so foolish as to kill myself. You know what I mean? Like it was really intense. Like I was actually dying.
You fear death now, Xun?
I don't know. Actually, I'm kind of fascinated by it. It's both like it's intrigued me. It's terrifying, and now that I know what's somewhat is possible. And how little I understood just from doing things like acid and mushrooms and whatever. I'm really intrigued by what else is beyond the veil, so to speak, because I feel like maybe even people that are like very experienced DMT users maybe haven't even mapped hardly anything of that realm or whatever you want to call it. So I feel like it's crazy to think about what could possibly be beyond the veil, and maybe when we die, we go to experience that even more. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a scary experience, and it's kind of like a weird thing to do, smoke out of like a meth pipe, when I've never been close to those type of drugs at all, but it was like a crazy, wild experience. And the biggest thing that came out of it is that like understanding of what it's like to die. Do you know what I mean? It felt like what it's like to die like so much that it made me feel like not nearly as afraid of that anymore, you know?
Well, that was the big thing. I like remember after I did it, I was like, why was I so scared to try this? Like it wasn't scary at all.
Really?
I remember saying that to my buddy next to me. Yeah. I was like, I was so terrified to try it.
Oh yeah.
And then like after I did it and I broke and I came back and like we were back to normal, so to speak. I was still like, you're still kind of in that fog a little bit, but I was like, I can't believe I was so scared to try it, man. And he didn't say anything. He just looked at me and like smiled. That's it. And then he did it himself again.
Well,
no,
the thing, like, Xun, did you feel like you wanted to do it again right after?
It was so bizarre because like I did do two big hits, one after the other, because I was really intrigued by it and wanted to see what the fuck is this all about. And so yes is the answer, but I was also equally terrified though. Like even though I was fascinated, I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Like this is crazy. Like this is fucking nuts. You're literally disintegrating and reappearing in a different fucking dimension or whatever the fuck that is. I don't even know how to put it into words.
I had to wait like a month.
It's very like, were you guys both sober when you did it?
Yeah.
Reasonably sober, yeah. Maybe a tiny bit high, but not anything crazy.
Okay, so like my experience was totally different. Like it was my my 27th birthday. My 27th birthday. That's when I did it. And we were like drinking the whole night and I was like doing blow, and then at the end of the night, I'm smoking nicotine, whatever. At the end of the night, like bars are closed. We go back to our buddy's pad, the shaman. And like we come inside, he gives us some Molly, we're fucking doing that, and then he comes out again and gives us shrooms. And then it was like I don't know, probably like an hour or two into my shroom trip that he like introduced the DMT pen.
Jesus.
So I don't know. I feel like I was already in like such a deep state going into it.
That's kind of nice. That sounds nice in a way. It sounds like you've got
like I don't know. Like I feel like it would hit so different if I was sober. I feel like I'd be a lot more scared trying it sober. I feel like because I was already on so much that night.
That's
I was
kind
like,
of what I mean. You're already incubated to do it. Yeah, it's like you were in the womb and you got to like, rather than getting like born out into the world, it was like you're born into a pool. You know what I mean? Like you're kind of a nice transition.
Is so peaceful, man. Like Molly and shrooms, man, they complement each other so well.
That's wild. Yeah, that's crazy. I can't even imagine. Actually, even mixing Molly and shrooms sounds insane to me.
I've only done them.
It wasn't a big dosage of each one. I've done a heavy dosage of, well, not of Molly, but I never was into pills. But I've done like a point of Molly and like an eighth of shrooms at the same time. But this
Damn.
time it was like probably like 1.5 grams of shrooms and like maybe half a point of Molly or something.
Still, that's strong. That's a lot of mixture. I guess you were. Did you get snapped out of your like that when you came back from the DMT? Were you like feeling sober, or were you back to mushroom level again? 'Cause I feel like it would almost snap you out of it. Like you'd feel so normal after DMT.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. It was like, oh, like we're here again. Like this isn't that intense. It's
Right.
kind of my mentality. Like I was probably fucked up, obviously, but you know, like in my mental state at that moment, I felt like, yeah, like this is pretty sober, man. It's pretty wild. I remember I did like my trip that I broke on. I was actually on the floor. Actually, did I break on that one? I can't remember if that was the one I broke or the one before. But I did it with Veronica. We were like holding hands, laying on the floor, and she did it too for the first time. It was wild. Such an interesting experience.
It definitely is so intense with your eyes open. It's like I don't even think. Maybe next time I do it, I should try and maybe not have my eyes wide open.
Wait, so you had your eyes open the whole trip?
Yes, I was fucking going crazy, dude. It was nuts. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. Just
close your eyes, man, and lay back and relax.
The stuff that my cousin seemed to do that. My cousin was more closing his eyes and chilling out on his trip, but I was more like eyes open. But I wasn't here though, so I didn't feel like having my eyes open was like important. Maybe I was retarded or something. But I had my eyes open pretty much the entire time. It was really fucking intense. Even when I came back down, as in came back from whatever that dimension is, and I was back in this room, I still was on like a very heavy mushroom trip level of intensity. It was still really intense, maybe even more so than the heavy mushroom trips, actually.
Dang.
You gotta try it again sometime, Lovesnow. Man, LA parties are different, hey? Like, holy shit. That's wild. It's a lot of drugs, man.
It was my birthday. And we just happened to have the shaman there, man. He's got everything, dude. The guy's crazy.
That's my birthday on Monday, guys. 33.
Dang, dude. The life of Jesus Christ, man.
That's the age I am right now.
I think I'm gonna eat I'm gonna go and have all you can eat yakiniku, and that'll be my birthday.
Yakiniku.
You guys never had yakiniku? It's just like barbecue, Japanese barbecue.
Sounds good.
Like bite-sized meat?
Yeah, like bite-sized meat on a flame grill.
Looks good.
Yeah, I'm not 27 anymore, man. Not that crazy. But you grew up in LA, right, Lovesnow?
Yeah.
Has it changed a lot since you were a kid?
It's more gentrified, I guess would be the word.
I guess your area.
Yeah, like just specifically where I'm at. I think I just notice it more nowadays. Maybe it's always been this way, but I notice it more now.
So like it's a pretty nice area because it's been gentrified, or
yeah, I mean there's parts of LA you don't want to go to, you know.
For sure.
But there's parts that are pretty cool.
It's a big place, right? It's freaking huge.
There's a lot of LGBTQ stuff.
That's right. Heart of Darkness over there. Center of the Tempest.
Lots of after hours spots in LA, man. I don't go anymore. Can't do it.
After hours spots, like all night places.
Yeah, man. Like you fucking go to a bar, it closes at 2. It's like, all right, where are we going? It's like, oh, we're going to Lick and Dip, or some other spot. Like there's a bunch of fucking after hours spots. You're just there. It's like 9 a.m. Then like it's like, all right, we're next spot. Like where are we going next? It's just like all these warehouses that have freaking parties all day, basically.
That's crazy. That's like alcoholic's worst nightmare, right? Like, or
it's all
dream.
fucking people doing coke, man. Like that's the only way they're up.
All right. You've got somewhere
But
to go all day, all night.
Alcohol and coke, man. It's like
Yeah.
crazy how much is out there.
Especially
Everyone's
with like
selling
cooks and
alcohol
stuff.
like past 2 a.m. and shit, dude.
It's got to be wild
And it's crazy.
raising kids in LA.
It's crazy. Like the cops know about all these spots. And they just kind of like, well, you know, just let them be. They're not hurting anyone.
Well, they got lots of problems to deal with, man. Like, just think about all the calls that they get for overdoses and shit.
Right?
Must be wild. Plus all like I mean, I feel like we're all kind of living in LA in a weird kind of way because we hear about it so much, even if we don't live there. It's all over like YouTube, and that's basically all the media I consume. Do you even watch TV anymore, Shun?
Like mainstream TV? I mean, not really. I mean,
British TV?
Maybe I'll see like a news clip or something from mainstream TV here and there, but not really, no.
Only thing I hear about British TV is like people getting arrested for social media posts. It's everywhere.
Yeah, we don't have actual true free speech here in the UK, unfortunately. So I've got to be somewhat careful of what I say. I can't, do certain things.
Retweet certain things.
Yeah, even if you just retweet certain things, even if you yourself aren't saying it, if you just support it or propagate it or spread it, yeah, that's just as bad.
So what's with all these immigrants, Shun? They should really go back home, right? Try to get them in trouble.
Yeah, these are some dangerous waters, my friend.
Kind of wish I had some whiskey for this. I think it'd be a perfect occasion.
Oh, we're getting sober, Lovesnow?
I've had one.
I'm sure he's already toasty. He's a little. You already have one beer? You serious?
Yeah, man. I've been taking this 2200 MMR challenge serious, man. I can't play drunk. I fucking just throw away all my points when I play drunk.
I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, you definitely need to be sober, Snow, to hit those kind of ranks.
Well, I'm not sober, but yeah, we're close enough.
Soberish, relatively sober.
So you had some big news recently, Lovesnow. You quit your job?
Yeah, we actually quit the day job.
What was your day job, first of all?
And for those of you that don't know, I was working in the school districts. I was a one-on-one behavioral therapist, or behavioral technician, I guess is our proper term. I worked with children with autism, typically, as a one-on-one aide. Be with them throughout the day, help them out with their classes, manage their behavior and record data on their behavior and whatnot. Find ways to motivate them to get their work done and to not disrupt the classroom and, avoid them causing trouble with other students and things like that. So I was doing that for about 3 years or so. And I would have kept doing it this year, to be honest. What made me stop is I'm 3 classes away from graduating college, man. And the class that I need to take, it's a prerequisite for the final class I need. It was only available Mondays and Wednesdays from 10 to 12:45. And that's like dead center middle of the day for my school cases on Monday, Wednesday. And I told my agency, like, hey, I can't work Monday, Wednesday. I have school at this end of this time. And they're just like, well, we can't really give you a full-time case then. Like, we need someone that's consistently going to be there Monday through Friday. Because these kids, like, they need consistency. They can't have, like, one person here this day, one person there that day. It's not good for them. You want someone to be there with them every day, So that combined with, just my business is starting to do a little bit better. It's nice to be able to allocate more time towards that. Kind of led me to, all right, we're not going to sub. We're just going to kind of not do this anymore. It was great. Taught me a lot. Probably the biggest thing was the virtue of patience.
I bet.
And that's why we've been streaming so much, man. We've been really putting in a lot of hours on Twitch.
Hey, you're a great streamer, by the way. This is how we all met. Actually, I met Shun through hanging out in your stream.
Yeah.
It's some good memories from that. It's nice to have you guys both back here, though. It's fun.
Yeah, I got the boys back in town. And Snow, yeah, you are very charismatic as a streamer. You're a natural at it, and you avoid the traps of many other streamers. Like, you don't just like beg for money or like emotionally manipulate your audience and to give you money. You'll actually like, you know, act like a businessman and like go and put some fight nights together, or, you know, do some show matches or whatever it is. Like, I like that about you, and you keep your community engaged, and you're always fun to watch.
Yeah, you gotta give the viewers something if you want something back from them. You know what I mean? Like, so many streamers are just mindlessly plugging away at whatever game they're playing and hoping for to make returns, you know. But giving the viewers something. And I guess I wanted to talk to you about your stream and talking with the audience and like giving the audience a lot of information, because I feel like you're one of the few people I see that really talks honestly with the stream and like gives them a lot of information about your life. A lot of people are like afraid to do that. Do you feel afraid about like parasocial relationship building and stuff like that? Have you had any experiences with that?
Interesting question. No, honestly, I feel like it's very fun to be able to have an audience to kind of share what's going on in my life with, because I know it's almost like therapy session, man. I get to like kind of vent what's going on if there's bad things happening, or, you know, problem solve if there's things I have questions about, you know, see if anyone has a different opinion about it or a different perspective. And then when things are going good, you know, it's always fun to share your success to a certain degree. I never feel nervous or like afraid to share things. You know, there's probably some things that I don't know. Honestly, there's not really very much that I haven't really shared on my channel. I'm pretty open about a lot of things.
Yeah, you talk
Maybe
about
some things I won't just
relationships and stuff, like what kind of relationships you're going through, struggles, work stuff, you know. Talk about the school district, or talk about kids that are problems, or talk about volleyball. I think it really like lets like it's funny because you let people in and it makes you popular, but then if you let people in too much and then you become very popular, then you might end up having problems, right? It's like it's a paradox.
Yeah, that's definitely been one thing on my mind, is like, as I, you know, hopefully we blow up and we become even bigger than we are today, and that's like, you know, obviously the goal of every streamer is to just become as big as possible, right? And yeah, I do think about it sometimes, because I do work with children and I work in, like, you know, I'm a club director of a club and whatnot. Obviously, there's probably some things that I may not want to be speaking about publicly, just in case someone were to you know, clip it, or, you know, try to blackmail me with it, I suppose. But, you know, at the moment, I feel pretty safe and comfortable sharing what I'm sharing. I don't think I'm saying anything too far-fetched or too inappropriate that it would be deemed disrespectful, rude, or bad to be talking about, you know?
Talk about drugs all you want, just don't talk about how you hate LGBT, right? Like that'll get you killed in LA, right? Or canceled.
Hey man, I live in my neighborhood that I live in, bro. I got lesbian neighbors to my left. I got gay neighbors to my right, dude. Like, we're open out here, man. It's cool.
Well, that's good, man. I mean, I really enjoy your stream. I feel like it's very personable. You're very personable, enjoyable to hang out with. And if that's what it feels like, it feels like a hangout.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of that, man. You know, I attract a lot of people that they're coming home from the bars, or they're pre-gaming for their night, and they're just like hanging out on my channel, dude, just drinking with me and just like having a good time, chilling, listening to the live sets and whatnot.
That's essentially the premise of your stream, right? Is like just chill vibes, ultimately.
Yeah, chill vibes, good music, gamer, and just a safe place, man. You can kind of talk about anything. I've had a lot of people talk about some very deep shit on my channel, man, and it's cool that they feel comfortable enough to share those things with not only myself, but with the rest of the chat. and it's really dope. It's really cool. People
Well,
talking about
like,
drugs, talking about
yourself.
relationships.
Yeah, so I
talking about
imagine
personal life problems.
I imagine just you as your kind of person promotes that behavior because you yourself are quite open and wanting to explore these deeper topics, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're about to finish college. Are you planning to just keep going with your business after college, or are you gonna look for a job in mental health wellness?
So I've been thinking about that a lot, and I guess we'll talk about my business a little bit later. But in short, I'm gonna get a master's. I'm going for a master's in sports psychology after my degree.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm getting my degree in psych. After I finish my degree in psychology, I'm going to be going for a master's in sports psychology. And the idea is I'm getting all this education just to help me be a better volleyball coach. I want to, but not only volleyball coach, but also just be able to better understand my athletes, be able to better understand how to help them. And as a club director and coaching multiple teams and overseeing multiple teams, it can't hurt me to get more education in this field. It can only benefit me to allow me to provide more services to my players and to their families. So that's what I'm thinking about. And then ultimately down the road, we're looking to one day have our own facility where we have, X amount of courts where we can run all our practices for this facility. I'd love to have like 2 offices. One office is like my office dedicated to just maintenance of the club, and then one office that I could use as a like as like a private practice office where I could have a couple private cases where I work with specific athletes that maybe need a little bit more attention than just something I could do over a couple moments of their time together, where they may actually need therapy of some sort. That's kind of the idea of what I want to use my education for, in short, I suppose.
So you're really focused on sport, right? You're not very interested in like going back to kids, autistic children.
No, I've never been
played
interested
that
in
out.
maybe. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like motivating a kid with a potato chip. I think it's so ridiculous.
Right. That's what it takes though. Potato chips. That's how you get them to.
Dude, it like it's pretty sad, bro. It's like it feels like you're like working with an animal sometimes. The way they teach you to work with these kids.
Really? So you feel like it's pretty rudimentary.
Cool. I don't
like
like it. Mm-hmm. That's what I was like. I was doing it because it's helping me get experience working with children and exposing me to schools, because I wanted, like, for a long time I was gonna be a school psychologist, and then I just learned from being at so many schools and speaking with different school psychologists like this is not what I want to do whatsoever. You're just talking to insurance companies and working behind a desk all day. You don't even interact with the fucking kids. It's
really?
like, what am I doing this for? Like, I'm just talking to lawyers, you're just writing emails to different school districts about hours to allocate to have service providers that half the time don't even show up for their scheduled times. Like, I was like, I don't want to do this. So then I was like, well, I mean, that's more recent, but when I first went to college and was like my freshman and sophomore year, I actually wanted to do shroom therapy. That's actually what I wanted to do. It just wasn't really a thing yet. And there were a couple professors that I had my sophomore year of school that thought it was a great idea. And there were a couple that just kind of looked at me like, might not be in the right country for this.
Right. Gotta move to Canada, maybe.
Like South America, it seems like. Central America.
One of the two. Depends on if you like it hot or if you like it cold.
Well, Canada's pretty open about psychedelic use.
Oh yeah.
And like the form of medicine.
Yeah, it's pretty open now. They legalized basically all drugs in Vancouver and British Columbia. So it's kind of wild over there right now.
So like similar to like Amsterdam, huh?
Something like that, but a little bit more sloppy. Yeah, it feels like they didn't really think it out too well. They're just like harm reduction, harm reduction policy. taking it to the extreme. And actually, my mom is a psych nurse. She was working in a hospital for a very long time. Outreach program, and she actually just retired recently because they put a safe injection site right in the hospital. So she's like just not down with these people that she's like trying to treat walking over and just shooting up in her vicinity. Anyway, she was like, she's just not down with it. But it's getting crazy. Like, drug deaths are way up. All kinds of problems with drugs are through the roof. But then at the same time, it's like, what do you really do? Because it's been getting worse for decades, just getting worse and worse. So there's not really a good solution. Feels like everyone's just grasping at straws, like trying to figure out what's gonna work. It's really more like a loneliness epidemic and like a mental health crisis balled up into one, plus like a bad economic situation.
Which I think is weird because like there is a little bit of a psychedelic wave right now with like the amount of access to psychedelics that there is in a lot of places. And it seems like we should be able to find ways of, connecting and ripping down divides and what have you, but it seems like it's going the other way. It's almost like despite there being an access to these substances, people still are kind of like going this same destructive path.
I wish that they could open up the pathway to just like psychedelics and not all of these other drugs too. You know what I mean? Like, how come fentanyl has to be decriminalized? Can't we just decriminalize acid and mushrooms and iboga, that type of stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Terrence McKenna, but
I'm very familiar.
Freaking, I think the world would be a better place, man, if everyone had just one mushroom.
Well, he's the founder of the stoned ape theory, which basically suggests that we not only evolved from apes, but we did so with the aid of psychedelics like psilocybin and mushrooms.
Yeah,
they're definitely helpful, for sure. I can imagine that they would be part of our evolution. I can't imagine that they would be detrimental to the development of a consciousness and the ability to like looking at yourself and see the world in such a mind-boggling way. Also unity too, right? Like the ability to sympathize with other people.
Well, it destroys if you go deep enough in terms of ego death, then it destroys the sense of individualism. So it's almost like you're forced into a unity perspective, right? It kind of overrides all that pre-existing programming of your ego telling you how like it's self-important, how everything separates you. But then it kind of like flips that on its head, completely smooths over any grooves in your brain that think like that, and suddenly you can rewire your brain looking at things through a totally new lens of unity or love are quite commonly talked about. I guess you could also come to the realization that it's not so much that it's you're living in the universe, experiencing the universe and the world. It's more like the universe is experiencing you, a human experience in the form of you. So it feels almost like you're playing a role in a play. You're no longer John or James or Susan. Those are just titles. Those are just roles that you're playing. You're the universe experiencing a human experience in the form of that role.
You're like the eyes and the ears of the universe. You're the universe experiencing itself.
Yeah, through that one straw of bandwidth, and we're all different straws of bandwidth, and we're points of consciousness in different forms.
Man, it's so funny what you guys are talking about, man. I've thought about this a lot. It was like the idea that, obviously we're energy, right? Like energy can't be destroyed. So it's always led me to think that when we die, we just go somewhere else. I don't think it's over. It's not just
I
blackness.
agree.
But
Especially,
I feel like we made a choice to come to Earth. I feel like we were in a different place, and for some
yeah,
reason it was like an invitation, like, hey, would you like to experience all these emotions from a human perspective? Would you like to experience fear and love and heartbreak and
yes,
happiness and sadness and
exactly.
anxiety and all these different things? And we just kind of signed up for it, and some of us may have signed up with an intention to play, and some of us may have signed up with an intention to heal and kind of maybe change the perspective or change maybe the mindset of some others. I don't know, but I've always thought about that.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as that, and to kind of like put an extra wrapping or extra layer to the onion. Also, that it's in a way we've chosen to do this because it's some kind of shortcut spiritual growth. Like maybe we're able to have this kind of growth of spirituality, but it takes way longer in that other dimension. Whereas when we come and have a human experience, we can kind of rush the process and go through like really condensed spiritual growth, or have the potential to at least.
Mm.
I always like that idea of being the observer for the universe, right? Like, what's the purpose of life? I think it's just experience. Just to experience as much as you can, or to experience the universe. You're like the eyes and the ears of this giant floating universe, all these galaxies, this suns and stars, and all the beauty that life and the infinite universe is capable of producing with nothing to look at it. What's the point of that? You know what I mean? With nothing to observe it. It feels like that is the point, to have someone to see, or something to witness, some consciousness to be an observer and experience the beauty of existence,
I know exactly where you're coming from. I mean, one of the things my father used to always say to me was everything begins and ends in experience. Just those words, everything begins and ends with experience. And they're like, I've really introspectively thought about what those words mean. So I know exactly where you're coming from.
What do you think that means? That sounds pretty deep, but I'd have to unpack that. What do you think that means? What do you think he meant when he said that to you?
I don't think so. For example, I think we've talked about this in the past, saying about how the differences in terms of like Zen Buddhism and Stoicism, and like how you look at goals and like long-term things. And I guess to put it into simplistic, simple terms, like it's not the goal of where you're getting to. It's not the pursuit of happiness. It's happiness of pursuit. It's the happiness of just going through the motions. It's pure joy and just going through what you're going through, and there is no attachment to, oh, I need this other thing to happen, I need that person to like me, I need to get to the end of the rainbow. It's all bullshit. It's just you're loving going through the motions of whatever it is you're going through, and that's all there is to it. It's just the pure happiness of the pursuit of whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It's just whatever calls to you. It might be MMA for one person. It might be volleyball coaching for Snow. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just whatever calls to you, whatever, energizes you.
I guess that makes sense. I would really have to think about that though. Everything begins and ends with experience.
Find what you do that you love and do it, and everything will come.
Yeah.
Always had that mindset. And yeah,
Something
for me,
that
it's
calls
volleyball.
to you. Certain things like call out to you and they draw you in.
But it's your power to also reject those callings. You don't have to answer the call, but you could choose to answer the call, and that's the interesting thing about life. You can choose to answer certain calls, and there might be quite a few.
I think a lot of people are also just afraid. They may have a calling and it might be crystal clear to do it, but they're just afraid to do it. because they may
That's
feel like, oh,
true.
it's not gonna make me enough money, or oh, it's gonna make me uncomfortable, or X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, I mean, there's usually 1,000 reasons not to do something, so people can easily make excuses not to do things.
For sure.
It's better. It's better to be honest with yourself and just say why you don't want to do that thing, rather than like come up with an excuse. Because anyone can come up with an excuse. There's a million reasons not to do things.
Absolutely. There's definitely a million reasons. There's so many different ways that people dilute themselves into thinking that they don't need to do something that they really should do. They really actually want to do.
Yeah.
But
sometimes it's as simple as, just family pressure, man.
Family pressure is huge. Yeah, it's massive. If you don't have a lot of family pressure, I feel like you have almost a superpower in life.
Just do what you want to do.
I mean, that can be a trap,
man.
though.
I'm gonna order something.
Doing what you want to do can be fun, but it also leaves you down some dark roads.
You mean
you
like
want to go
hedonistically doing what you want to do?
You don't want to do like full blown hedonistically what you want when you want all the time,
No, that's true. But that's one thing you kind of have to remind yourself too. Like, for example, I've kind of finally gotten back into working out after over a year after my accident, and you got to remind yourself, like, no, this is actually what I want to do. If I was not in the situation where I'm just about to go to the gym and I'm deciding if I want to go or not, I want to go. Do you know what I mean? It's just in this moment, maybe I don't want to. Maybe in this exact moment, it feels like too much, or it feels like, I'm tired or whatever. But outside of that moment, I know that's what I want for myself. That's what I want to do. And you have to like remind yourself of that.
That's discipline in a nutshell, man. Doing things that
you actually
want
to
do, but you got to do.
I feel like discipline, people will say that like doing what you don't want to do, but I feel like discipline is doing what you want to do without any caveats. Do you know what I mean? Without any excuses. So it's like remembering what you want to do and doing it when you don't feel like doing it. You know what I mean? When your body's not ready.
Like remembering your goal.
Right. Because actually that is what you want to do. Like, I want to learn Japanese, for instance, you know what I mean? I really want to do it. But when it comes to actually like doing it and putting in the time, there's a resistance there, right? That's not I don't want to do it. I actually want that. It's just there's resistance. Yeah. Overcoming resistance. That's really real discipline, is overcoming resistance.
Being consistent.
Absolutely. Just like grinding on StarCraft, hey? Are you doing any like research as well, or are you just pumping out games?
Every day we spend some time learning. We focused a lot on TVZ yesterday night.
What did you learn from yesterday night?
Well, the biggest thing right now that's challenging about ladder is I'm not comfortable yet on the new maps. It's like all new maps, man. There's like 5 I want to ban, and I can only ban 3.
What are your
To be
bans
fair,
right
like
now?
some of them are pretty okay for Terran though, if you can figure them out.
Yeah, for sure.
My bans currently are Minstrel, Monty Hall, and Kickback.
I can see Minstrel because that's hard to, but you could probably put Kickback in there, can't you?
Kickback, it's crazy.
No, It's just new maps, man. Like, I really don't like Pantheon too much. I've been playing it. It's not horrible. The more and more I'm playing it. Dominator, I'm not the biggest fan of. I think this one isn't the best either. I've been like fucking 6 racks middle of the map against Zergs on this map. Like,
yeah, that map maker doesn't know how to cut a pizza, man.
I thought Deja Vu was really bad at first, but the more I'm playing it, it's like not horrible. It's like, okay, I guess it's playable.
Yeah.
I don't want to play Fighting Spirit, but here we are. I've had it banned for like 8 ladder seasons, but here we go. Playing Fighting Spirit again.
Is it really in the map pool again? God damn it.
Why is it in the pool again?
I don't understand why Vermeer never came back.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me at all.
Like, Vermeer was like such a good map, dude.
It was very good. Way better than Fighting Spirit,
Well,
that's for
compared to
sure.
Fighting Spirit, yeah. I mean, apples and oranges.
I'm actually cool with Radeon at this point. I think it's fine. We got Polypoid again, which is like, sure.
They brought back Polypoid and not Vermeer? That's so weird. That is really strange. Yeah,
Maybe they'll eventually bring back Vermeer.
I don't know how to feel about Monty Hall. I've been hearing a lot of mixed things. Like, a lot of Terrans are like, this map's good for us. A lot of Terrans are like, veto it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure.
No, you should like Monty Hall. It's pretty good for you.
Why?
It's just a lot harder for like Zerg to navigate on it. And I don't think TVP is like too unfavorable for you. There's even like some cheeses you can do on it. You know how to do the barracks cheese where you build back 2 barracks and you build a gas and you mine out their wall, transferring the minerals to gas using the refinery nearby.
The thing Flash did?
Yeah.
Never done it before.
You can also do lots of like factory cheeses on that map. Vulture drop builds. There's loads of stuff you can do on it. It's pretty okay for Terran.
Yeah, 1-1-1 is great versus Zerg there.
I think my biggest thing about it is like, I'm trying to get better at the game and I'm trying to improve and I'm trying to just play like stock standard and just get better mechanically. And our map pool is like fucking dog shit for that. It's like every map I have to play something weird. Like Kickback, you can't just play straight up. You have to play like probably 1-1-1 or Volt Drop or 2-port Wraith or some shit in TVZ. And then TVP is, I don't know, probably not horrible, but you're probably going to face a lot of Nexus first. And, you know.
I think the best thing on Kickback for TVZ would be the fantasy vulture tank push. You should learn that. It's so good right now. It's crazy strong on a bunch of different
vulture
maps.
Tank push.
No, Valkyrie tank, sorry.
Look at what Wolfix said in your chat, Lovesnow. Stretch your brain a little bit with different ideas where you actually have to think instead of playing standard like a robot all the time.
Yeah, I heard it. I read it too. Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right, Wolfix. I haven't been playing 1-on-1 for 10 years, man.
A quick bathroom break from me. I'll be right back. You guys keep talking.
Sounds good.
When was the last time you interacted with Wolfix, Lovesnow?
I talk to Wolfix daily.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh,
Has he been helping you out?
I actually wanted to share with you. Remember you had those questions about the Hydroden stuff. So I talked to Hawk about it. It's on my last VOD from yesterday. From 1:09 a.m. to, or sorry, not 1:09. From 1:09 to 1:12. I actually wrote it down on the notepad.
Sorry.
I remember I wanted to share that with you, Wolf. Because he was talking to me about, like, well, not just me, but we were just kind of trying to figure out when do Zergs take their Hydroden in TVC on like a standard like 2-hatch muta against like, you know, Rax command center build. Yeah, he went pretty good detail about it, Wolfix.
What did he say?
Like between like 7 and 9 minutes typically, but it's like a lot of factors involved. He described a couple different scenarios.
Isn't like 7 like the basic, but it can change based on the time, like what happens in the game, and like whether or not
7 and 9 minutes. Wolf. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on like how many metas they want to make, like whether or not they're trying to fight the Marine with meta, or like it depends also how quick Terran's teching, and there's a lot of factors. I'd have to actually probably rewatch those couple minutes that I talked to Hawk about it just to fully grasp it again.
And if they take it at 7 minutes, they should have like lurkers almost hatching at 9 minutes, right?
Sorry, I missed what you said. What'd you say, Zan?
If they're doing if they're getting the den ready around 7 minutes, they should have lurkers ready around 9 minutes, right?
Well, the big thing Hawk was explaining was if they get a den that quick, you have to just go across the map and try to bust them. Because they're not going to have metas, or they're not going to have as many metas.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Especially if you're 4-racks or something.
Yeah, basically, Zerg gives up presence on the map when they go den if they take it quickly. That's why they usually delay it and get lots of meta, because they're trading with Marine. He's like, Hawk was explaining, like, meta just outscales Medic Marine until Medic Marine have tech support, like Valkyrie.
That, in my opinion, is the issue of Zerg versus Terran, is transitional points of weakness in tech choices for Zerg. So it's very difficult to know when to transition into the next tech phase or whatever. And Terran is like geared up to exploiting Zerg's transitional points of weakness in the mid game, which is where most of their win percentage comes from, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what makes the best Terrans, man. They just know these windows so well. They see things with scan, and they're just like, okay, this is how I have to react. This is how much time I have to go for the bust on whatever it is, or go for the push on whatever it is.
Yeah, sometimes those windows are razor thin. It's crazy.
It's super razor thin. Sometimes, man, it's like literally like lurker eggs are like 3 seconds away from hatching, but you kill all the colonies, you get on top of the lurkers.
Yeah. It's like sometimes it does come down to like 3-second windows. It's kind of fucking wild.
Yeah. It's
if you hit those windows, it makes it look unbeatable though. Like, oh my god, how do you ever hold this off? But yeah, it is just so razor thin.
Yeah, like some Zergs I play against, man, their meter micro is so good. It just feels like, man, I can never get on the map. And the next thing I know, we're mid-late game, and it's like they're 3 bases, lurkers, defilers, and scourge, and I'm just like, what do I do, man? I'll be like 200, can't bust anything, and just lose from that situation. It's like, what the fuck? And it's like, man, just feel unbustable.
At least I don't know. I feel like at least with TVZ you have that transitional point, like where the Zerg is switching over, where you have some moments where you're like, okay, if I get in here with some drops, or I bust a position, we could win this, right? You get map control pretty much no matter what, in that like there's like a window in the mid game. As long as you have enough bio, you've got your tech going, they're transitioning into Hive, you can get out on the map and put some pressure on and like see if you can find a way back into the game. Whereas when it's versus Protoss, then they're just taking bases like crazy and they've got you trapped in your base. It's like there's nothing you can do. Like, it doesn't matter how much, you never get map control back if you fall a little bit behind against Protoss.
From Zerg perspective, you're saying?
I'm just from a Terran perspective, yeah.
From a Terran perspective, gotcha. Yeah, like, I understand it so much better than every other matchup.
TVP?
I thought I'm like understanding TVT. I thought I was understanding TVT, but I'm not. Like, there's so much more to it that I'm understanding, and like I really feel like the map pool is like not helping me because I'm still like not comfortable on these maps yet. I don't know like all the different routes people are taking and what's the common locations to hold and things like that.
No,
I was finally getting comfortable on the last ladder set, man. After like however long those maps were in the pool, playing pretty much all the maps besides like FS, and then I had eventually got down to banning both the 2-player maps because I was tired of fucking playing against Protoss, getting gas stolen in gateways, and so annoying.
No, FS is a nightmare. I hate that map so much.
Yeah, Yeah, it's pretty terrible. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not even
I
that
just can't
bad
get myself
for
to play
Nerve,
kickback, man.
Kickback, yeah, I can't handle it.
It can't even be that bad for Terran. I mean, we get 3 bases, but I don't know. It just seems weird.
If you're my brutal opinion, I think you're just looking at it through a lazy lens. You don't want to have to think outside the box to take advantage of the fact that you got those 3 gases. You know what I mean? You're looking to play pretty cookie cutter each time, right?
I've been trying to just work on my standard play. I feel like that's what's going to get me better.
That's what I mean. Yeah, you're looking for ways of like playing something super straight up. But that's not necessarily going to develop you as a player, though, either. Like, you need to be able to, think fluidly.
Trust me, Lovesnow's got a lot of cheese in his pocket, man.
Well, it's not just about the cheeses. It's literally about like being able to like on the fly
Technical
problem solve
openings.
and shit. Yeah.
I don't think even on the fly, like between games, looking at a map and thinking like, how can I abuse this geography? How can I abuse this position?
Yeah, figure it out yourself.
Yeah, really Lovesnow, like close positions on kickback. I really feel like Valkyrie tank push is going to be incredibly strong. The main reason being that the entrance is pretty wide and you can actually shoot up also into the other bases if you get the tanks close enough. You can start to hit stuff that's in those like back expansions. And then if you're just slowing down the Zerg enough, like you're just pounding at the sunken colonies and forcing them into like a kind of a rough transition where they have to throw away a lot of stuff or build a huge amount of sunken colonies. Those gases on high ground that they get, like, oh yeah, they get a quick 3 gases, right? Those gases run out so fast, they'll burn out before the main gas does. So they're on like a really serious timer where they have to get out on the map and get another base up.
Wait, so the gas geysers at the 2 bases on kickback are less mineral or less gas?
Way
than
less.
5,000?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
It's like 3,000, and then the mineral patches are like 1,200 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's nice to have the extra gas income, but it's a very short clock, it's ticking. As soon as you take that, you get, yeah. What is it when like mine out time for in the main gas? Like 17
21?
minutes. 21 is the natural.
Oh, natural
on a regular map. But yeah, it's like 19 minutes, something like that.
And it depends when you start mining it, right?
Right.
But like from the time of mining it with 3, yeah, you're looking at like 17, 18 minutes.
And and the natural and the third will mine up before the main. So yeah, it's fast.
Yeah, like I think mech would actually be pretty good on kickback for TVZ, for instance.
Yeah, you can transition like the fantasy push into mech. Just start making vultures and lay a bunch of mines as you retreat. You can also do like for Terran, it's fine to be on 2 base, right? So here's like the big Terran advantage is you take one of the bases as your natural and you just play 2 base. And then when that like natural starts to mine out, you just move the command center over to the other base and just start mining there. And like, or you just, you build another command center over there. But in most matches, you'll have to, stretch out somewhere on the map to grab another base. This one, it's already inside your base, so you don't really need to move out at all. You don't have to get exposed to take another base. So you can be on 2 base for a very long time on that map.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's not a bad map for Terran.
I would say a lot of those maps are pretty okay for Terran in the new map pool. Besides like Fighting Spirit, I don't know anything about that, but
I really like what Shine did on that map in KCM. Like the Guardian push, I thought it was really smart. Kind of avoiding the issues that I was just talking about. But you can see
depends on where you spawn on that map, though, right? Like that's the thing, though. Like someone in Lovesnow's chat was talking about it's hard to develop strategies per each map. Well, obviously, but it's not just per each map; it's also per map spawn. Like, just by buying horizontal or cross map on kickback completely changes the entire game, and probably you are needing a completely different strategy to get the better of your opponent.
Yeah,
otherwise you might just be falling behind.
I wouldn't necessarily go for that fantasy push cross map. That would definitely be like a close position type of build. So you'd have to figure out like a different strategy for cross map and scout them out and figure out what the position is early on to make that decision.
Just when everything was feeling comfortable. Yeah, just gotta make us uncomfortable again. Thanks, Blizzard.
Hey, that's where you grow, man, is when you get outside your comfort zone, right?
Yeah. We've been playing a lot more Vulture dropship, man. And TVZ, just because the maps are different now.
Yeah, you got to be a bit uncomfortable being uncomfortable for a while while you familiarize yourself with it. Just remember, everyone else is going through the same thing. It's not like you're the only one that's going to be feeling like iffy about the maps. So will pretty much everyone else.
Kinda. I don't know. I feel like the Koreans have probably been playing it for a while, man.
Yeah, maybe they're the exception, but yeah, they're not going to be the only ones you're worried about on the ladder.
Yeah, I'm like 95%.
There's like a lot of lazy people out there too, man. If you just put in like a little bit of extra effort, you can get a huge advantage, I would say. A lot of people just like not even look at the map before queuing up.
Well, that's the thing. You don't have to really like wring every drop of juice out of the fruit, but you have to squeeze it a little bit, squeeze it hard enough to get the majority of juice out for the minimal effort,
Yeah, like, I mean, when I first played on Pantheon, I was like, bro, this map's fun. And like, now that I've played it, 5 to 10 times, I think it's actually okay. If you can just control certain spots, it's actually not bad for T. I had some great TVP wins on it just by abusing the fact that Protoss didn't understand there were certain spots that he had to fight over.
The map makers are smart, man. They're really, really intelligent. They have some incredible ideas. And the forethought that goes into a lot of these maps is pretty impressive.
Oh my gosh. It makes me think, you're talking about map makers being smart. Dude, Fighting Spirit has all these trees in the middle of the map. I literally played a TVT today where I missed 12 shots on a Vulture.
Well, that's the Fighting Spirit was made like, I don't even know how long ago, 15 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, a long time ago.
They've learned a lot since then. They've gotten a lot smarter since then. Like Monty Hall, same thing, right? That was a really old map.
Why the fuck is Monty Hall back in the map pool, man?
Although I think
they put it in ASL.
Yeah, it's they're kind of going through the old maps again.
Yeah,
I think Fighting Spirit did us a service though. Like Fighting Spirit really taught us a lot more about the dynamics of Terran versus Protoss, because you would think instinctively, just learning about Terran and how Terran works, that those high ground expansions at 12, 6, 3, and 9, you'd think, oh, those are really good for Terran. They're high ground expansions. That's super good. But you don't think about the double-edged sword of how hard it is for Terran to push up those ramps to take out Protoss bases, to siege and re-unsiege, and to scan up the ramp, and to make sure there's always something on top of the ramp to spot for the tanks to shoot up it, and all that bullshit, right?
Yeah, just give me Protestants that don't play Reaver, man. I'm happy.
Yeah, the benefits of having Reaver. The strength of having early Reaver into stopping Terran from taking a third is insane. But
so even though some of these maps are trash, I think they taught us a lot about the game as well.
Sure. But I think that it's kind of a good move from ASL or SSL now to bring back like an old map rather than throw in like a completely insane new map, like instead of throwing in like a 76 or something like that, they're just like, okay, let's just grab like an older map that we know is crazy, but is kind of figured out.
Yeah,
You know,
I really like
Monty
it.
Hall. It's a good idea.
I still
really
have
like
played
that
0
they added
games on
Monty
Monty Hall.
It's a fun map, Snow. It's not bad.
Did you see Sulky play against who was that, Best or something on Monty Hall?
Best, yeah. Silky bottom right, best top
Was
left.
that week 1?
Yeah.
That was a crazy game.
I think I skipped it, man. I skipped the PVZs a lot of the time.
No way. Oh my god. What a wild one.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. Yeah.
It's worth a watch, huh?
That one is, yeah.
Yeah, that was a proxy.
At least check out some of it.
A proxy from Best, which led into like a really wild air battle. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Really, really impressive stuff from Sulky, man. Sulky is just at such a crazy level. He's like if he keeps winning ASLs, I feel like he's gonna reach like Flash level. Really, like
he's close. He's close. He's
was
very
it Bonjour?
close.
Yeah, like
Bonjour. He already
level.
is kind of like a Zerg Bonjour already. It's just like, is he going to reach the level of Bonjour that is Flash as a Zerg?
Well, hasn't he? What, he's back-to-back winner right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's
Hero
really
been like
performing.
top 4 in the last like fucking 5 seasons or something.
Yes, Hero's really been like trailblazing and not able to fucking come through to it.
Hero is in a position like a Jaedong during Flash era, you know, where it's like, if not for Flash, Jaedong would have been, you know, killing it and like getting all the medals and stuff, or all the trophies. But Flash is always there, kind of cucking him in the end. Hero's in kind of a similar spot.
Yeah,
Hero's so fucking good as well. Like, it's crazy to think about like how much of a chasm there is in skill between even like the very best of the players. It's kind of madness. Kind of feel for Hero, man.
If Soma didn't go to the military, man, he'd be freaking going top 4 every time too.
Maybe
totally different style from
maybe,
and Hero, but
maybe, but I'm not too sure he'd be, you know, necessarily out competing Sulky right now. So
yeah, Sulky's a big hurdle, and I feel like Soma's style maybe a little more map dependent.
Yeah,
potentially,
maybe a little bit.
If it's like a good map pool for him, I think he can be really, really strong. But
I don't think this map pool is very favoring Zergs, honestly. I feel like this map pool is like a little bit skewed against Zergs even. I think it's pretty Terran favored. Obviously by only a few percentiles, but obviously that's a big deal at the highest level, right? A few percentiles is going to make a big fucking difference. So yeah, I think it's slightly more Protoss Terran favored, and then a little bit Protoss over Zerg, but not a lot. There's only a few maps like Minstrel where it's really like seeming like Protoss, and then Monty Hall seems like Protoss has got a bit of an edge over Zerg. But as far as Terran's concerned, it seems like they got a little bit of an edge over the other two races on most of the maps.
Yeah, God, Minstrel feels really hard for Zerg to pull off.
Yeah.
Every game we've seen,
Protoss as well.
Every game we've seen is just Protoss like poking into different areas and then rotating, and Zerg like trying to run lurkers around and just getting stuck everywhere.
And Reaver's getting way too much value.
Yeah, nothing can rotate properly on the defense as Zerg. It's so hard.
Yeah.
There's so many pathways to attack on Minstrel.
So many attack paths.
It's so much to think about, and there's so many difference to the like how long it takes to get around certain paths, and calculating that in your brain on the fly to like get your army to like synchronize flanks and whatnot. It's absolute nightmare. Not to mention the actual pathing of the units themselves to not like get themselves stuck along the way. Like say like the mineral, because there's like 2 eggs in the mineral wall on these like 4th bases. The units can really get stuck in those gaps trying to get through and shit. It gets wild, man.
There's freaking 6 attack paths on Minstrel, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. Only the pros can make that map look even remotely fluid, and even then it looks a bit crazy chaotic.
Yeah, I'm worried about Zerg on that map. Even against Terran, like,
same.
It's not great. the
There's no easy third for the Zerg against Terran.
And it's a 2-player map. It's like there's just not enough space to find bases. Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a real struggle this season, but it's a struggle. It feels like it's a great test. A struggle that's a great test for Sulky, right? Like if he can overcome maps, it would be similar. Like that's Flash level. Do you know what I mean? Where
I would say so. If he's like beating all the best players on even these maps like Minstrel, I would certainly say so.
Yeah, it's like the season where ASL tried to diminish Flash by, you know, making the maps really hard for Terran. Yeah, they were just like, okay, let's just make an anti-Flash map pool. All the Terrans get knocked out. Flash is the only Terran remaining, and he just bashes everybody. That type of shit.
Was that the year he beat Snow in the finals?
I actually can't remember, but I think that was his last finals. So probably yes.
Man, why do you guys think Flash didn't come back this season? Like even try to play in qualifiers?
He doesn't want to like dull the lights before they've had time to shine brightly. You know what I mean?
Like
he wants
just
to come in
doesn't feel
strong.
like he's that strong.
There's no way he would come close to being like able to place like top 8, top 16 this time reliably, right? But if he waits and plays the next one, he's got a way stronger chance of like actually smashing through the group stages and what have you, and having a way better, stronger showing, and stealing a lot of the limelight as well.
I don't know. I think it would be better for his public image if he would have come and played this season and maybe just lost.
Does he still stream?
People would like him more.
I mean,
he doesn't.
They were still showing images of him in like the media for this SSL, even though he's not there. They're still showing his face over everything. True. In a way, he's keeping the hype train going by not showing up. In my opinion, they're going to be psyched for it coming next time around.
That's possible.
Whereas if he has like if he comes back too early, has a premature like mediocre performance, the hype train's going to die down a lot more for the next SSL. You know what I mean? Whereas if he just kind of is a little bit of a no-show and then suddenly comes in strong on the next one, people are going to be way more hyped for that.
I thought he was going to start streaming again, but it seems like he's holding off for now. I don't think he wants to deal with backlash.
I think he's.
You think that's what it is, or is he actually just like hiding everything? He wants to just like figure out things in the shadows and then return out of nowhere.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's a little bit of like waiting for things to blow over, so he doesn't have to deal with like people talking shit about what happened in the past. I think it's also hiding his power level a little bit while he figures the game out, because I imagine he's going to be really thinking about the game critically and like how Terrans can problem solve the modern meta and whatnot, because he's going to be a little bit behind curve trying to catch up with not how people are thinking, but how he needs to adjust people's thinking, because he's going to come up with his own solutions to problems. He's going to reverse engineer things back from square one and then figure out what the actual solution is. So it's going to take him probably a long time to figure out a lot of those solutions.
That was so funny. I did replay casts of him versus, I think it was Motive, and Motive stomped him like 5 games in a row, and just simple 2 Robo Reaver play, and just mass expansion, completely overwhelmed Flash over and over and over again. And then I think it was like 2 weeks later they played again, and Flash swept him like 4-0, just smoked him. And at the end of the 5-0 with Motive winning, Flash was like, so like, what am I doing wrong? And Motive said like, oh, you're going for the upgrade style is no longer standard. It's not really good anymore. It leaves you too open. And then it's like he said too much. The next time he came back, Flash played more like standard, like modern style, and just absolutely crushed him. It was crazy.
Yeah, I really enjoy playing TVP, man. Killing probes is probably one of my favorite things in the game.
Satisfying, right?
Oh, it's so satisfying.
Have you studied Sharp's gameplay much?
Yeah, actually, I took one out of his playbook, man. I've been opening like Fact Expand, but skipping Vulture, going straight out on, going into quick speed. 2 Vulture run by, dude. It's so good. I've got like, I think like out of the 5 games I've used it, I think I'm 5-0 with it.
Nice.
Damn.
Mixing in Starport right after, dude. It's been so strong. Like Second Factory, Starport. It's like they're just so scared of that run by, man. They got all their goons at the front. They got all their goons blocking these locations, and then you just like drop in the main, and it's just like wide open.
Are you making Second Factory then Starport, or Factory Starport Factory?
Factory Starport sometimes 2 Factory then Starport. Just depends what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm like killing bases with pylon walls because like the drop is so unexpected. It's really nice.
Yeah, sounds decent, man.
Just infinite variability in that game, man. So much fun. That's what makes it so good.
Well, even on a chessboard, with like just 8x8 grid squares, like there's more possible moves than there are like atoms in the universe in terms of like possible board states. So now imagine StarCraft with like a way bigger grid with way more unit variation and so much more that could potentially happen on the map. So yeah, we've got like a quantum computer of possibilities. And we see like crazy things like we saw in the SSL. I don't know if is it okay to spoil things, or should we avoid talking about what actually specifically happened in SSL most recently?
Just avoid spoilers.
Yeah, but we saw some crazy games in the SSL, like like 1 in a 10,000 game scenario type thing. You know what I mean? That yeah, it's always interesting to see what kind of craziness you can get, because even if you do play games that look more or less the same, there's so many intricate variations happening, and eventually you get completely wild games out of the ether that seem to like be more like true poker more than StarCraft. Yeah.
I don't know, my like camera was like bugging out, so I had to fix it right now. And I just remembered, like the shirt I'm wearing right now, dude. Streamlabs actually sent me this shirt in the mail. We like hit some goal and like got like gold on Streamlabs for some fucking reason. Don't know exactly what it is. I think it was like hitting a certain number of like subs and followers or something. I was like so proud about it. I was like, hell yeah, dude, we got a shirt.
Nice, man.
That's awesome. Congratulations, dude.
The best shirts are free.
Oh man, I've been thinking a lot recently about Lovesnow when I sent you that that video about Stormgate, and
oh gosh,
you had such a reaction on stream,
dude. I had a bunch of people send me a link to Ardo's stream. Ardo watched my reaction on his channel.
No way. Really? Oh man, you gotta send me that. You gotta send me that.
I saw.
I want to see that if you got it.
I can look for it. I'll look for it right now. But hold on, my booze just got here. Go downstairs, pick that up real quick. I'll definitely take a shot right now. Give me a moment, guys.
Sure.
No worries.
That's funny. Oh man, Artos is. I can't imagine being there. Like, imagine being on that couch. I remember they were all sitting on couches, with microphones, casting those games. There was like 4 casters, and they were all talking about such random shit.
Just to fill the space, because they don't even know what to talk about on the screen, because it's like very non-engaged.
Oh man. Spiritual successor of StarCraft and Warcraft 3. It's like, god damn.
That's pretty sad.
It's pretty sad.
I couldn't even bring myself to play it much.
Lovesnow's reaction was just so classic.
What was his reaction like?
He got so sad when he saw Celestial versus Celestial. He was like,
yeah.
this is what people have been waiting for. People have spent money to watch this or to get this game. People have backed to this, on Kickstarter for years.
Been waiting a long time for it. Been really hyped about it.
I don't know how many years that was in development, but it feels like a long time.
I think it was quite a long time, yeah.
And then the spiritual successor is just, it's not quite there. Like if you're looking for a spiritual successor to a great RTS game, I feel like Beyond All Reason is where you should look. That's like a true spiritual successor to Total Annihilation.
Yeah, that definitely does Total Annihilation justice, whereas Absolutely. Stormgate doesn't do much of anything justice. It kind of like almost makes fun of Warcraft 3 and StarCraft, you know what I mean?
Yeah, both of them.
It's like playing off of people's wish for like a revisit of that.
Yeah, so I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying this is some kind of conspiracy, but it almost is like what I would expect to see someone trying to sabotage the genre. You know what I mean? Trying to sabotage what you once loved and kind of make fun of it almost. You know,
it's weird, like making a game for the professional scene. Do you know what I mean? Like how quickly that can backfire. It feels like so under-tested. So
well, to be fair, games have been super successful, like StarCraft and especially StarCraft Brood. I mean, they weren't really planned to be super competitive games, right? They were kind of accidentally successful.
Yeah.
And the devs that did work on those older generation of titles, which were accidentally super successful, don't work anymore. So we've got newer generations of people working on these projects, and they're either not as lucky or not as talented or not as motivated or whatever it is. It's just not creating, they're not able to put the puzzle together the same way anymore.
I think it requires like smaller dev teams. Really, this is the big thing. Like as soon as you have so many voices and so much money, I feel like the script gets
doomed
lost
for failure.
Yeah, it's almost doomed for failure. Yeah. It's like Concord. You hear about the failure of Concord. It's just insanity.
Yeah. Enough. I've heard enough. What was the most recent thing? Was it like all the people that paid to get early access now have to restart their games as well because their saves are not going to be updated or something? Is that right?
I have no idea. That sounds hilarious though. My God.
Yeah, so all the people that paid like over $100 to get like pre-orders and they have early access, they've now got to completely restart because the game's updates. They won't be able to finish the game. They'll get to a certain point and those saves will not be able to advance. So they have to restart their save files completely fresh.
Well, so there's
like what are you guys talking about?
It's Concord.
Oh, Concord. Okay. Dude, I figured, this might be the best spot to drop this. I haven't talked about this too much on stream. But this is the Doom Drop podcast. Maybe time to drop something doomy.
Got some bad news or some good news?
Oh, I'm terrified, but that's going to be amazing. So we were speaking about, you grow most when you're doing uncomfortable things. So I'm terrified of heights, man. And, don't like sharks either, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I got a guy, man, that wants to collab with me. We've been in contact about this for a bit now. And, we're looking to be sponsored by Red Bull for this event. We're going to do a live stream of us skydiving.
Okay.
GoPros attached. Apparently, we're going to use some sort of technology that'll be attached to a drone that'll be able to provide us with a Wi-Fi signal that will allow us to be able to keep our Twitches open during this event.
Nice.
And I've never fucking skydived in my life, let alone ever thought about doing it. But this guy is like ex-military. I think he was like, not I think, he told me he was going into special forces or something, and he's just like an adrenaline junkie. And
and he's a
he
Twitch
really
streamer?
wants to do this. He's trying to get into it, and he thinks this is like the biggest way for him to make a name for himself. And he's been very generous on my channel, and he's a good friend. And he invited me to be a part of this journey with him. And I'm just like, you know what? I fucking don't like. I have a fear of heights. I feel like if I do this, I'm gonna be able to kill that fear. That's the way I'm thinking about it. You know?
Yeah, man. Confronting your fear, I think, definitely.
And like same thing with sharks, man. He wants to go underwater into a shark cage with great white sharks.
Wow.
And I'm just like, oh my god, this is terrifying as well. I don't like sharks. So, you really hit me in two places that I don't want to be doing.
I thought you were going to combine the two. I thought you were going to say something crazy, like you were going to skydive into a pool of sharks or something. I was thinking, where's he going to go with it? Because you said you had a fear of heights and a fear of sharks, and you started bringing this up, and I was like, where's he going to go with this?
No, two separate events. I don't know how near in the future these are going to take place, but they are already in motion. Red Bull has actually replied already, and are kind of looking into the logistics, looking into how we're planning on doing it, and it seems like they're interested in sponsoring the event, which is crazy.
Ooh, okay.
So,
yeah, man,
it's something that, to my knowledge, has never been done on Twitch. So we'd be like the pioneers of doing this.
That's awesome.
You know, I'm terrified to do it, but I think it's going to be amazing. An amazing experience. And dude, the viewers are going to love it, man.
Oh, for sure. Dude, so many people are going to tune in for that.
Yeah, it'd be fucking awesome.
So that's like some big things happening in the Lovesnow stream that are coming up. Another thing that is in the near future, guys, is we got confirmation with Tasteless to run it back. He's down.
All right.
I haven't even talked to anybody about this. This is the first time I'm dropping this info right now. Ooh. But I have talked to him on Discord. He's interested in doing it. Right now he's a little busy with I think it's Stormgate and some other game that he's doing right now.
No.
But he mentioned that he's down to do it. And just like last time, I got to find a sponsor for the event. But that's going to happen. So that's going to be pretty cool too. That's more StarCraft related, obviously. But yeah, the other thing is more in real life stuff. We're looking at kind of expanding the Lovesnow stream from just being StarCraft to a little bit more in real life stuff as well.
Okay.
We did a stream the other day where I literally just was on Tinder and the chat helped me swipe left or swipe right. And it was pretty successful. It was like so hype when we got a match. Like,
let's go. Nice.
We got some ideas going. We're trying to grow a little bit in different areas. It's like I've had a lot of people tell me like, dude, you would do so well if you were just like in a bigger scene. Like StarCraft is such a limited ocean, you know?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only a couple hundred viewers at a time, you know, unless 1,000 maybe. But you're in a different world where there's millions of people watching. Your opportunity to grow would be so much larger. So in real life seems like something that we're gonna push towards a little bit more.
Sounds good. That's kind of what I was hoping for, is like a new game to come out that was gonna be, you know, something that a lot of us could get onto. RTS, like a new RTS that was gonna be really fun. We could really get behind and have like a larger audience.
Something that maybe we could cast together or something, yeah.
We could get into casting and playing on stream, and that more people would be into. We could get like bigger audiences going. Yeah. But it feels like everything's just a flop, man. It's crazy.
Let's go, dude. Let's run it. Stormgate.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Yeah, okay, let me find that video, man. I know I have it somewhere. Fuck.
Yeah, I want to see.
Marasara, man, you were the one that found me the video last time. Do you remember where it was? Of Ardo watching the Lovesnow reaction?
We'll have to get that up on screen. Got to screen share that to us here. Or Lovesnow.
Yeah.
Are you guys streaming as well right now on Twitch? Or
No.
I know Xun isn't. But...
No.
Okay. Are you guys on stream on YouTube or no?
No, we're just recording.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, thanks for allowing me to stream this.
No worries. Thanks for coming on, man. It's nice to hang out with you guys again.
Yeah.
I appreciate the invitation. I know it's been a couple weeks in progress here. We can never line it up properly.
3 different time zones, kind of awkward, yeah.
Yeah.
But it worked out. I was actually completely free today, so it worked.
Nice. Yeah, this is kind of our usual KCM time when we started this.
It's always like late night for you, early morning Saiyan, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's the way we make it work.
Oh, I think MSM isn't there. I'll have to let me see. Where was it? I mean, I have to. No, I want the Ardo reaction of it though. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find it. Gotta be not too long ago.
All right, I'll quickly use the washroom and hopefully we'll have it when I get back.
All right.
Can't remember how many days ago it was.
I'm curious what his reaction was to what you were doing.
Yeah, that's why we watched it, man.
I couldn't even bring myself to play that game very much. Like I tried to pump myself up to play it, but I couldn't really.
Yeah, I found it.
Alright, link me that.
Okay, it's at here. What's up, Big Lou? And then it's at 22. Roughly around there it starts.
Okay.
We'll wait for Saiyan. Let me see exactly when it starts. No, a little bit further ahead. Okay, more so here. Let me edit this.
Can you just share your screen?
Oh yeah, I can do that too. Let me know if you can see it.
Yeah, we can see it.
This will be on the screen. Okay.
You've got music going. You've got music going in the back.
Mute it for a moment.
All right.
I'm gonna raise this volume a little bit so you can hear him better. Okay.
300. Did you see that Junebug placed third at Supernova playing Donkey Kong?
Yeah, it was
It
sick.
is like beating a 4-poulon bloodbath.
Cheers, salut, Gunbay, everybody.
Smash content, I always have to recommend the Smash 64 combo contest. It is so hype.
Oh, I never saw that. I played a ton of Smash 64 with my brother when we were kids. We loved that game.
I think it was Shield Battery and Joe Megan.
All we did was abuse each other. He played Donkey Kong and I played Kirby, and we just grabbed each other off.
Telling Artie to watch this or something.
So stupid. Okay, let's watch this. Let's see what this is.
God, I was so drunk when I saw this, man.
So this is Lovesnow. we raid him a lot. Okay, let's see. Oh no.
I'm actually gonna cry right now, guys. This is so sad. This is I never played it, but there's so many people that have been interested in playing it, and I actually am gonna cry right now. They've been like spending so much time like trying to get good at this game that's absolutely fucking trash. I feel so sorry.
Paid for that though.
Oh my god, I can't believe I'm about to cry right now, dude.
What are you
Are
doing?
you serious, dude? This is horrible. This can't possibly be the best. I'm actually...
this was
What does he
they
say
already
about
patched
that?
that out. That was silly that got through. I can't believe that those things got through like that. Those games were so silly. Oh my god.
A giant wall of flesh. takes up
It's tough. I mean, he can't say anything really bad about the game, right?
Yeah, he's like, he was trying hard. He was trying hard to stay in character there, man. We almost pushed him over the edge with that one.
Yeah, like I almost thought he was gonna actually say that it was bad. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
His comment was like, "I can't believe this got through. It already got patched." You know, and he was just
Yeah.
laughing. You know, like
I've watched quite a few different like pro gamers who've been trying to play Stormgate, and like their different gripes about the game, and like things that have been pretty bad. Like apparently there's like dog meta, where for the past weeks you basically only make dogs, Vanguard versus Vanguard, and a dog is like a scout. You just build scouts, and then you have like 50 scouts fighting 50 scouts, you know what I mean? And then whoever wins that fight wins the game, and that's it. And it's really,
And
really
I guess
silly.
they're kind of forced into that, because if one of them tries to transition away, they won't have as many scouts as the other guys, like
Yeah.
Vulture Wars in TVT or
or
something.
like
right?
Zergling battle or something,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah. Except there's no like, oh, you just build Sunkens and then you can transition to mutas, you know what I mean? Or there's no like, I just build a wall and then, a bunker, and then maybe I can transition to tank,
No.
Or if they're not paying attention for a second, I can slip a tank out and then it's gonna help me in the fight. Right? Yeah. I don't know what's the solution to that, or if they've already patched it or what, but apparently it was weeks that players were doing that. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, and then of course, there was that whole like I can't remember what, Morph Core or whatever meta that was just so brutal that if you were playing anything other than Celestial, they would just send a Morph Core at you and it would just kill your workers before you could even get any anti-air out. Then you just couldn't play. It's like, how did
that go through? Yeah.
Exactly, Artosis, how did that go through?
I feel like the game creators like just don't know how to aren't just like, they're not high level RTS players, man. They just don't know.
I swear they have high level RTS players in their
I'm sure they
team,
do
right?
They have to
Thought they
test it,
did.
right? Like,
I'm
come
sure
on.
that they must be, but it's kind of weird that even is possible to slip through. Yeah.
Or that they wouldn't patch it within like a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they would do something sooner to fix it rather than just let that ride out for so long.
Yeah, I'm not too impressed with the game. I mean, maybe someday it'll be good, but it feels like it's got such a long way to go, and they've already kind of burned a lot of the goodwill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
If I'm looking at games, like, it's another really small game, Lovesnow. I don't think you might not have heard of it. Beyond All Reason. Have you heard about that game?
I've seen you playing it a lot. I've
It's
seen the Discord message on your like update status, fucking showing you playing it.
Yeah, I've
Never played it though.
been playing it a lot. It's a Total Annihilation
Remake.
style RTS. Yeah, pretty much like a remake of it.
Man, what I've been wanting to do for so long, dude. Like ladder just reset in D2 hardcore or D2 LOD. I want to play D2 LOD hardcore, man. With like a group of homies. I think that'd be so fun.
That would be kind of fun.
Or what would be so fun too, and I know this is troll to some people. I know Xun, it's against his values, but
no way, man.
5-man hardcore WoW Classic group, dude.
Oh man,
that'd be so fun, man.
I've
5
never
dedicated
played
homies.
principles, man.
Just like only set it up for like, you know,
man.
once a week we play for like a couple hours, you know, nothing crazy. We don't all go crazy on it. I think that'd be so fun. You know?
I think you should try this Beyond All Reason, man. It's actually a spiritual successor. They've thrown that term around a lot with Stormgate, but Beyond All Reason is a real spiritual successor where they've taken the principles and like the idea of total annihilation and they've just upgraded it in every way. Like there's all these different quality of life improvements. There's huge amounts of like it's just better in pretty much every direction. You can play 8 versus 8, 16 versus 16, even 32 versus 32. Like you can get like massive squads of people together to play this.
It seems the most popular mode is 8v8.
Yeah, it runs really, really smooth. And they put in this like amazing idea where they kind of combined the best elements of Brood War custom games with like an autoplay system where like, do you know how in Brood War you make a custom lobby and you put the name and everything, and then as soon as that game's over you have to remake the lobby and everybody has to rejoin? In Beyond All Reason, you make a lobby, people join, when the game ends the lobby automatically remakes and everybody's in the same lobby again. Do you know what I mean? Like and then there's like a join queue, so like you can join the lobby and watch the game in progress, and then when the game ends, the lobby refreshes, it starts over again, like you don't have to rejoin. And if somebody leaves, then someone in the join queue automatically gets added. You know what I mean? So like there's always like new people coming in, and you never have to, you know, search for a game and like hope to get your spot back. Do you know what I mean? It's just you're automatically in there. You just hit ready and you're ready to go for the next game. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, so good. I wish that they would have done that for StarCraft 2, but like the custom game lobbies just died in StarCraft 2 so hard.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Beyond All Reason is like I said, like an actual spiritual successor to Total Annihilation. It's so much fun.
And it's free.
And it's free. Free to play.
So it's an easy game to try.
Interesting. I just saw the trailer for it.
Oh yeah.
It looks insane. Looks like there's so much going on.
There's so
it's
much
pretty crazy.
It feels slow at the beginning, but there's just an insane amount of things.
It kind of needs to be slow at the beginning because it's like a mushroom trip where it like, you know, really like gradually initiates you into craziness. You know what I mean?
It's like a tree where everybody starts at the base, but there's so many different branches of different directions you can go. Like once you get past that like initial trunk, just go off into so many different weird directions with all the different types of builds. Like in StarCraft, there's like a StarCraft is a tree with like, you know, 10 or 12 different branches, and Beyond All Reason is a tree with like 50 different branches. It's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, there are some very strong ways to play. But then also, I feel like Beyond All Reason has like branches, like the branches branch into more branches as well, because there's like T2 and T3, and then there's, you know, nukes and EMPs, and there's, you know, water play, air play, there's just so many different things that you
There's
can,
even just like the buildings that are crazy, like, you know, I can't remember what they're called, but the buildings that shoot really far and can like take out swaths of people's bases if you position them correctly on the map and shit.
There's like 5 tiers of turret, you know. There's like the tier 1 tiny little laser turret, and you can get to like fire turret, electricity turret, you know, these little proximity turrets, and then you can go with mines. You can place mines out, and then you can get to like a laser turret with like really good range, and then you can get like almost like a mortar turret that has even further range, and you can get like these really big laser turrets that shoot like just massive range, and then eventually you get to these just giant turrets that cost, you know, tens of thousands of resources, and they can fire across half the map and just destroy the opponent's base with like mortar, and it takes like a huge amount of energy, but you can just snipe their entire, you know, economy with a turret that's built in your base. So yeah, it's wild, man. There's so much going on. It's really, really crazy.
Dude, where's the turret upgrades, man? In freaking Brood War, bro. I don't think they do shit against metas, man.
Yeah, Terran are desperate for a turret upgrade.
Imagine splash damage turrets, dude. Holy shit. Metas would be like so much easier to deal with.
Yeah. BOP.
You have to get your science facility out though first. You gotta get like you gotta get teched up. But actually, in Total Annihilation, there's no like tech tree really, except there's like a tier 1 builder, and then there's a tier 2 builder. So in order to build like tier 2 buildings and tier 3 buildings, you have to get the tier 2 lab to get the tier 2 worker. So
because you got your main commander guy that does all the building, the generic stuff, but you have to build like laboratories of either air, ground, like bot labs, or vehicle. So it's basically an infantry, vehicle, or air, and each one of those can build a constructor bot, and then the constructor bot can build more advanced buildings, including a tier 2 version of that bot lab or vehicle lab or air lab. And then when you build that tier 2 version, it can build a tier 2 constructor bot, and that tier 2 constructor bot can build a tier 3 version of that, you know, and so on. So it gets pretty crazy.
Yeah, there's only
My
2.
brain can't handle this. There's too much going on.
Only two resources too. It's metal and energy, which it makes a lot of sense. Like you're basically like a sentient AI that's just fighting a war on another planet with another sentient AI, and you're both just fighting over metal and, you know, creating renewable energy, fusion reactors, wind and solar, and using energy and metal to build buildings and bots and all kinds of different fighting stuff.
Even building buildings that convert energy into metal as well, like all kinds of craziness.
What the fuck? Imagine in StarCraft being able to do that, convert your minerals to Vespene gas or something, or convert your Vespene gas to minerals.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it scales because, like, you know, you could only build a few of those buildings initially, or you could have a massive amount of them. Like you see some people, they're really good at macro and they're just constantly building windmills all game long. So eventually they end up with like massive bases, just churning out the crazy amounts of resources.
Cheers. Salut. Gun Bay boys.
So yeah, you should definitely check it out. That's like, that's my new game right now. I'm really into it. I'm loving it. I actually reached out to them about doing some casting, and the community's really small, so I contacted like immediately with a developer.
Wow.
And got access to a huge amount of replays, like a whole replay repository that they have. So I'm just gonna like maybe put like one cast a week or something on my channel, and just mess around with it, see what kind of interest it gets, and keep playing it for fun, and see what happens. But like, I wish that there could be a great RTS that could come out, something that could grab my attention like that, you know, something that I could like wake up every morning and be like really excited to play and cast and watch and stuff. That would be really popular.
Wasn't there like another one coming out, like Frost Giant or something like that? Or
That is Frost Giant Studios is the studio behind Stormgate.
Oh
Yeah.
God. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, that's the one, man.
Rip, dude.
There's another one coming out. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's kind of like Red Alert 2 revamp or something like that. It looks like Red Alert 2 kind of, but it's not
The one you showed me.
Yeah, we looked at it on a podcast like a couple months ago or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, it's the name escapes me, but it's actually looking very, very good. I don't know how it's going to be for competitive play or if it's going to be viable. It could be one of those ones like kind of like Red Alert where most people just play casually. I don't think was there ever really a competitive scene for Red Alert? I feel like...
There was a little bit. When it got to like number 4 with generals and stuff, that's when it became more of a competitive scene.
It was always more of a campaign game.
It was always more
people played it a little bit. People played it a little bit competitively, but it never really had a proper competitive scene until like CNC Generals, I think.
I don't think it was well balanced. Things were pretty.
I remember playing Red Alert as a kid. It was a game I played. I played that in like Sims, or like 2 other games I played when I was a little kid.
It's pretty
Sims
good.
Was fun.
Pretty good game. Like the way that you control units and stuff is quite a bit different. And there's like that whole thing with like running over units, right? Like you can small units can get run over by tanks and stuff. And so yeah. It's
you used to be able to smash interceptors with floating buildings and right?
a little different, but yeah. Yeah, it's interesting with Beyond All Reason. Like I was thinking about this for Terran. In Beyond All Reason, you often have range that's larger than your vision. So you can get more vision. Like it's really good to get more vision so that you can fire at things. And one of the things you can get is radar, and then you can get radar jammers to prevent other people from seeing your units with radar.
You can get mobile radars, right? Like units which have radar on them.
Yeah, and mobile radar jammers too. Yeah.
I just thought about something crazy in TVT that I've never thought of before.
Yeah.
What's that?
EMP your opponent's scanners.
What would that do for you? You don't even have any invisible units to take advantage of that. I mean, I guess tanks you can like slowly push in.
Exactly, dude.
But they can't scan. That's so silly.
The main issue is that you have to EMP
get the vessel close enough to the
you have to get close enough to EMP and all the command centers are spread apart.
Matrix the vessel and then send it in there. EMP.
It's a lot of resources investing in something that won't give you too much value.
Yeah.
Very niche scenarios, man.
I mean, there might be some weird scenario where it's actually a good play, especially if you can get the vessel in and out. But yeah, I would say generally speaking, the EV expected value on that would be low.
So for TVT, like in Beyond All Reason, you can't see very far. Oftentimes you can't see like but you can attack something, so you can attack ground with almost any unit. And so just imagine if you could do that with the Terran, with
like
the
manually
tell them to attack the ground inside their range, but outside the vision. You know what I mean?
Well, that'd be a lot better against lurkers. That's for sure.
That would be really good against lurker. Yeah, but
against DT it'd be tricky, but you could probably make it work.
Yeah, there's a lot of skill expression with that. You know what I mean? Where you can you can target Fog of War.
Almost like predicting where they might move next before you can see it.
Yeah.
Before you can see it.
Or memorizing where things were before they took out your radar or something.
Right, memorizing where stuff is. Predicting when attacks are coming and stuff, and like firing into Fog of War to, deny them. There's a lot of skill expression in that game. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, and the amount of like variety of like tactics and styles you can see. Like, I don't know if you've seen like some of the games where like they do these weird builds where he'll build a shit ton of like transports and a shit ton of turrets, and he'll pick up all the turrets and like basically land turrets across the entire enemy side of the map all at once. So all of a sudden there's like hundreds of turrets just everywhere gunning everything down in their base.
I actually haven't seen that, but I have seen there's this really cool move that people can do where you can build like a spy bot, like a little cloaked invisible robot that can't deal any damage, but it has an EMP attached to it.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
it's very good.
You go into their base and you find their anti-nuke, like their nuclear defense capability, and EMP it, and then you nuke them and just blow up their entire base with that type of move. It's really, really sick.
Oh my god, I want to show you guys a clip. This one was sick. I'll screen share for a moment.
Okay, hold
Or am I
on.
still screen sharing? I don't remember.
Yes.
Yeah, you are.
You minimized your application though.
Okay, hold on. So I got to add. This one is sick though, guys. This is the sickest nuke I think I've ever seen in StarCraft Brood War. It was done by Wolfix actually.
Oh, I saw this. I haven't seen it. I can't see anything on your stream, but I know which clip you're talking about.
Yeah. Have you seen it,
Yeah.
San?
I'm not sure. You need to share your screen, or it's minimized right now.
Okay, hold on.
I don't want to spoil it for Sam, but I know what you're talking about.
Let me reset this up.
As soon as I saw like the first few seconds of the clip, I knew exactly what he was doing and setting up, and I was like really happy to see it.
All right, we're good.
Yeah.
This is Wolfix, boys.
This turret will probably show me, right?
Good day, Commander. Good day, Commander.
Ghost report. Never know what hit him.
I need the amount
Wolfix in James Bond mode.
Coordinates. Vector locked in. Coordinates received. Roger. Vector locked in. Standing by. Reporting.
Receiving transmission. Good day, Commander.
Standing by.
Just the setup and calculation from this play was amazing.
Yeah.
55 seconds left.
Standing by.
Ooh, we slipped by in the back. Oh shit.
And that's just phase one. This is just phase one.
I'm here.
Now look what he does.
Never know what hit him. Somebody call for an exterminator. I hear that. Finally.
And he's got this other ghost to fake out, look.
Oh.
Look at this. This
So
had
now
to
he
work.
thinks it's gone.
That was the perfect bait. Don't even tell me it wasn't.
No way. Oh, no way.
Oh my god! That was fucking Pimpus play.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, some pimpers play type shit.
Yeah. Damn.
This is insane, right?
Yeah,
is so
really
good.
good.
Oh my god.
This is peak StarCraft. This
That's
is
all I needed for
real StarCraft right here, boys.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it was like I was just like, wow, dude, that was fucking sick, man. When you showed it to me.
Well, thanks for showing me that. That was amazing.
Wolfix has been using nukes a lot in TVZ. Like, you know how we have
Really?
dropship play, we have vessel, radiate, we have, just trying to bust the front. He's been mixing in nukes to try to bust like Lurker Defiler, Dark Swarms shit.
Well, it makes, I mean, that's a pretty good idea, honestly. Not bad. Like, if you've got a cloaked ghost and the Zerg player, they're not going to have speed on their overlords. It's going to be hard for them to get an overlord into position to spot that. Like, they probably need plague to get rid of it in time. You can probably bust the front. Makes sense when they're hiding under Dark Zone.
Well, I guess that the idea is you just pull them in multiple locations. So you go for like 2 to 4 drop ships, one location. You're attacking one location, and then you have a nuke going on the third location.
Oh,
because
Jesus.
a nuke, you just cast the nuke, and it it takes what 8 seconds or something for it to land.
Yeah.
You send in the dropship preemptively, right? You can attack a location at the same time as the dropship's going, and you cast the nuke. And now it's like, dude, Zerg is sweating. Like Zerg's got to deal with this dropship. Zerg has to deal with hitting the Dark Swarm to make sure they don't get busted on the front where the A move is happening. They gotta find where the fuck the nuke is. Now they gotta check everywhere. Where the fuck is this nuke?
Yeah.
And then we were talking about it in detail, like just the psychological factor behind like a nuke being used.
Yeah.
It's like it's not even just like not even just let's find the nuke and block it. It's like, dude, if I get nuked, this is embarrassing. Like that's like it's like this can't happen, man.
Wait, he's clowning me. You're clowning, right?
Right?
I sense clowns.
Yeah, usually if I'm having to deal with nukes, my mind is like tunnel vision on killing that ghost with my muters, no matter what. But if you catch the Zerg with their pants down, there's not a lot they can do. You can like create a ladder out of chaos to climb.
I mean, and then there's that fourth aspect. You could literally have like a racer trait going at some other location at the same time. There's like so much you can do as two, and there's like just the turtle Zerg, right? Just trying to get up to the ultras or whatever the fuck they're trying to do. So
you have a lot of time. Yeah, that's funny because I always say that there's like 4. You have like 4 moves as Terran while Zerg is turtling up and getting ready. Like after the vessels are out and the mutas are no longer useful. Okay, you've got like four good moves, and then Zerg will be out with Ultra, and it's gonna be hard. So like, can you actually get in there and break them? And so that's basically Wolfix doing all 4 moves at the exact same time.
There's one more. There's one more move. There's the BCs hitting a gas.
Right. Sure. I'm just saying like that can help, but if you're by the time BCs are out, you've already got ultras out on the field, right? Like I'm saying before the ultras come out and start taking map control back.
It depends. You can get BCs kind of quick. But yeah, that's something I'm struggling with right now is cracking those like once Zerg is like 2100 to like yeah, even 2100 Zergs I feel like I can crack, but like those 2150, 2200 up, man, if I get to that point in the game, it feels like they're just impregnable, dude. You just can't get in there, dude. Can't slip it in, man. There's a lockbox on that pussy.
It's like the problem that I think Terrans have is they're not good at like maintaining a siege. Like you can't just suddenly break through. It's like you have to lay siege to the Zerg for like a good 1 to 2 solid minutes of non-stop irradiates and pressure, and eventually they make one tiny mistake or they don't make a defiler on time or something, and you abuse it and you crack them.
That's what it is, man. That's what it is. And like I was learning a lot, like tricks, like I was talking about yesterday. TBZ like was my focus of the night. And I was like asking lots of questions like Hawk and Wolfix and Pandor and Nesh and PBJT. I was talking to like a lot of like great minds that are very good at this game, around the level, well, better than me, to put it in simplest terms. And like there's little things you can do, like how like defilers like to dance in the night, can't irradiate. So there's like tricks where you can go like fake you're about to irradiate. So they jump in the nidus and you go out of vision and then instantly just go back once you're out of vision because they're going to hop back right back into that same spot, and then you get their radiates off. And I was just like, oh my god, like that's sick, dude. Like I got to start using that shit. And like just little ideas with multi-prong attacks, like using more shift drop ship click and more shift irradiate vessel click. And, just like a lot of Zergs are like, damn, like Terran, how the fuck, like, where they have 500 APM, how are they doing 3 things at the same time? It's like, you're just shift clicking these things in prior and then going for the A move somewhere else.
You want to sell yourself like your boxer, even though you're not really doing a lot. You know what I mean? You want to like frustrate the Zerg at multiple locations with very minimalistic actions, but you can feel like you're a fucking pro gamer from the Zerg's perspective when you're able to like synchronize that shit.
Yeah, that's the big thing. It's like one is eliminating vision on them. Like if you can kill those overlords at all those little locations that they're all those little nooks and crevices those overlords are hiding on top of cliffs or whatever, and you can make the map more black. Like once you get to that point, it's like you just can just abuse the vision. Like pretend you're going here, go here. Pretend you're going there, go there. Set up these multi-prong attacks, and that's how you can get Zerg to make that one mistake and you get in there and bust something. That's
Yeah,
how you
sounds
win.
good, man.
And it's just so hard to truly execute, but in theory, it makes sense.
I mean, that's what makes a great Terran, man. They're able to like figure out this shit on the fly and like create opportunity out of nothing.
Yeah, man. It's hard though. So hard.
Yeah, Flash makes it look easy. It's like a jazz musician, right? They make it look easy, but the actual execution of that is anything but.
Think we're gonna have a Terran champion this season?
It's possible. It's
Got a lot of
favorably.
parents moving on, man. Got a lot
It's
of
a-
parents moving on.
A lot of Terrans and a slightly Terran favorite map pool, so I would say it's not necessarily
What?
going. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Maybe I'm just Terran biased, man. I fucking feel like all the maps are never Terran favored.
Most Terran players will never admit maps are like Terran favored. They're either like just okay for Terran or like a little bit good for Terran, but they'll never admit that a Terran map is like an actual Terran map usually. You know what I mean? There is a lot of
What,
Terran players though.
What map do you think is Terran favored? I'm curious.
Well, it depends on the matchup and what map we're talking about. Like Minstrel TVZ, for example, was like extremely Terran favored.
Yeah, Minstrel's like a veto for me, dude. I'll never play a TVZ on it.
Maybe you should. Maybe you should. Looks tough for
seems-
TVP though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. It
TVP
seems like
looks rough.
fucking so like I'm just getting abused up my asshole playing this TVP, man.
Like
Maybe
Monty Hall as
just-
well. That's a pretty good map for Terran. There's lots of things you can do on that.
I feel like the 2-base play maybe on Minstrel, just like 6 fact.
Well, it fits into the Lovesnow way. We don't take third bases, man.
Like for instance, like Minstrel, you can 6 fact push straight down the bridges. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then send vultures around one of the pathways. You know, there's so many different paths. If the Protoss is like challenging you right there, you send vultures around, lay mines behind, and then, you know, push them into the mines. Pretty easy. Like, they're not going to be able to cover you going all the different pathways to prevent you from running around with vultures while you're coming up.
I actually feel like that map looks a bit weird. I feel like in the mid game it might be Protoss favored, but I feel like Minstrel late game might actually be Terran favored, considering it might actually be good that the lanes are set up the way they are for Terran in late game. It might be easy for Terran to force head-on engagements and be way harder for Protoss to keep fluid in their army movements.
It seems so fluid versus Zerg. It's so hard to pin them down, and they have so much room to move around you. I don't know. So many counterattack paths, but yeah, I think they changed Minstrel, by the way. They added eggs and swapped out mineral patches for eggs.
In certain locations? Like from the
He
like, compared
means
to the ladder?
he means on the bases where the minerals kind of like block a lane, they've like put eggs there to like make it so you can like drill over the eggs and stuff, and then kill the eggs holes. You have to mine out the minerals first. Which helps with pathing a little bit, but that hole is a congestion point, and also a lot of units get blocked up in there.
Yeah.
We've seen that in KCM.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I still feel like maybe Monty Hall is not that bad for Terran. I just gotta play it.
I feel like,
I don't know what I'm
kickback
so
as
scared
well. You
about.
should
It seems so
embrace
weird.
more.
I feel like the worst map in the pool for Terran is Dominator, personally.
Probably, yeah.
There's just way too much space in your main base for shuttles to fly in. It's too hard to cover all angles of attack, and then you also have a low ground main, which is always hard. Protoss can abuse you.
Yeah.
And Zerg has plenty of locations they can take around the map. There's lots of high grounds and small chokes. So yeah, I feel like it's a pretty tough map for Terran, that one. But
I think that's like one of the only maps that's like particularly tough for Terran in the entire pool, though.
I think you might be
Especially
right about that.
At pro level, at least. Obviously, this is a lot different for foreigners and like people at like BA rank trying to figure out these maps. Obviously, they're having a much harder time with like unit pathing and shit, right?
For sure. All right, well, we've already done 2 hours, guys. How do you feel about wrapping this up?
I'm cool either way, yeah.
I think it's been fun, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been a good time. Appreciate you guys. And shout out to everybody in the chat, in Lovesnow's chat. I'm gonna come join you guys now, hang out for a bit.
Thank you.
Come watch you struggle a little bit on the ladder. It'll be fun. Backseat you a little bit.
Nothing but wins tonight, dude. We're gonna hit nothing but wins tonight from here.
All right, 2200 incoming.
Be nice to see.
All right, guys. Everybody out there, thank you so much for watching.
I appreciate being invited. Thank you for hosting.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Thanks, guys.
Nice to talk to Xun again. I talk to Saiyan every once in a while, but haven't really talked to you.
Yeah, it's been
nice
a while, man.
Catch up.
Yeah, for sure. We'll chill out some other time.
All right, we'll do this again sometime. Maybe after you do your what's it? Skydiving Twitch stream. Get you back in here and ask you what the experience was like.
Probably gonna shit myself, dude.
Do it for the content, man.
I went skydiving last year. It wasn't too bad. It was crazy,
Really?
but it wasn't you know.
I imagine it's just the actual jumping out part is the only real fucked thing about it. Once you jump out, everything's cool.
Yeah, you just have to decide that this is what you're doing now. It's kind of like psychedelics, you know. You're just like, you gotta accept it. Like, okay, we're going out the plane. Like, we're going up there. We're going out the plane. Like, so.
You're going up there and you're going out.
You had someone attached to you? Like it was because it was your first one or what?
Yeah. You have to have someone attached to you first time.
Yeah, I feel like I feel a lot safer.
Yeah, because think about it. You could like panic, freak out, or feign, and not even be able to like pull the chute to save yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's so many things that could go wrong on your first time up.
Yeah,
there.
like what if my guy that's attached to me fucking passes out while I'm up there, dude?
He's done plenty of jumps, so I imagine the likelihood of that is very next to zero, but still possible, I guess.
Just start slapping him in the face.
I'm gonna take a fucking little bottle with me, pound that shit. Just be
Liquid
like,
courage.
I hope I make it home.
You could do a cheers salut gumbe while you're flying down, I guess. See if you can drink well with the air smashing into your face. If you can hit the bottle while falling through the fucking air, that'd be good. I want to see that on stream.
I have a camelback, dude, with a fucking thing like just in my mouth, dude. Have it taped on.
Nice.
Just like whenever I'm ready, dude, I'll fucking take a pull.
There you go.
That'd be crazy.
I want a skydiving
I love
shot.
it. I love the idea.
Yeah, man. That's so you as well. You gotta do that shit.
Mid fucking fight, like
cheers, salute. Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
It's the ultimate shot right there.
The shot of the lifetime, dude.
This Mario Erotica TTS playing in the background. It'll be fun.
Pretty peak life.
It'll be It'll be a Twitch moment.
My knowledge it hasn't been done before, man. So we're gonna be the pioneers, hopefully. And even if we're not the pioneers, it's not very rarely done, I would say, if it has been done before.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Go through either way.
Sounds great, man. Best of luck. I hope it works out. Don't get eaten by a shark. Keep doing what you're doing.
I don't know which one I'm more scared of, man.
At least he's not skydiving into a pool of sharks like I originally thought he was going to say.
Yeah, we'll take it one step at a time, bud.
Yeah, let's not get crazy, huh? Just a casual swim with the sharks. Baby
let's keep the
steps.
sharks and skydiving
DMT and then
separate.
jump off the plane, dude.
Yeah, you need to hit a DMT pipe with your eyes open and jump off the plane. That would be some next level shit right there. Goddamn.
I think the universe would just be like, buddy, what are you doing?
Like sensory overload, unironically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not fearful at all of like a heart attack or anything, but I just know it's gonna be scary.
You'll be
Like,
alright.
I think once I get up there, I'm gonna feel fine. I think it's just like the build up, you know? Like
Flying
the,
up
like
is
the
a
build
little
up.
wild, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I've flown on planes all over the world. Like, I feel very comfortable being on planes, but just like almost like when you take shrooms, right, or you take acid, like you know it's gonna hit at some point, you just don't know when, right? So you're just kind of like that uncomfortableness of, well, sometimes it's comfortable depending on what you're doing. Like I just drink a lot and then I do it and I feel fine going in through that process. But if I was like sober, like going in through it, like it's like, oh shit, dude, like when is it gonna hit? And you're just like, how hard is it gonna hit? You know, just so I think that's more of the part that's gonna be a little scary, is like while we're getting up there, we're getting to the right altitude, we're preparing for the jump, all that, like my brain doesn't know what's gonna happen. I've never done it, you know? And then once I do it, I think I'll be fine. I'll just be like, let's just enjoy the moment, man. Whee!
Yeah, it'll be fun. You'll enjoy it. For sure. I had a great time jumping out of a plane. It's probably a once in a lifetime experience for me, but it was definitely a pretty sick once in a lifetime.
The adrenaline pumping or what?
Yeah, pretty adrenaline bursting, but mostly it was just like pretty zen for me, just going up in the plane and trying to be as calm as possible, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I already feel that right now. Even just like thinking about it, like my initial thoughts of fear and shit, I'm just like, if I'm gonna do this, I can't think that way. So I'm already like training my brain to be like, you know, just chill.
Yeah.
You're gonna be all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like freaking yourself out over a psychedelic experience. Just the less you think about it, the better, probably.
Yeah, you just got to go into it, bro. You're like, I'm doing this, kind of like exactly the words you said. Like, I'm doing this. I'm just gonna be as calm as possible and just fucking enjoy the ride.
Yeah, I've made the decision. You know, this is just a follow through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you should think about it like the moment that you step into the plane is like, I've decided to jump out. You know what I mean? You've already made the decision. There's nothing I can't imagine it. There's nothing worse than like flying up in the plane and then pussing out and then having to fly back down. Oh man, especially on a Twitch stream, right? If you're live streaming,
if you're gonna do that, don't do it on a stream.
Yeah, definitely do not do it on stream.
No, I'd probably have to stream on the whole like build up process to the whole climax of it, you know?
Yeah, so you have to do it. There's no choice.
Yeah, I have to. There's no pussing out, man.
So there's
I've already done something kind of wild.
There's no reason.
I was in Costa Rica,
freaking out about it.
Right? Like I was in Costa Rica, and they have the world's longest zip lines. And when we got to the final zip line, we were like over a mile and a half high in these trees. I was fucking terrified because I don't like heights. And my sister is like a little courageous girl, dude. She was like, I don't know, I was probably like 17. She was like 14 or 13 or something at the time. And she just like hooks on. She's like, all right, ready, brother? And I'm just like, oh. and we just do it. And there's like a certain way you have to balance yourself because they're just like, yeah, like you don't want to get stuck halfway, man. You gotta, you know, all in Spanish, like you necesitas hacerlo como esto, amigo. Necesitas tener distancia y todo, blah blah blah. Basically, like there's a certain way you have to like position your body weight in your legs so that you actually make it through. Because the final zip line at the highest point, like the last one, it's like a little over a mile of zip lining over the forest top, dude. It's crazy. And I remember like wanting to like take a video of it while I was, but they're like, yeah, don't do that. You're gonna probably drop your phone and you're not gonna be happy about it.
Yeah, you're not gonna find that thing somewhere in
That
the
was,
jungles of Costa Rica.
Right. That was probably like in the rainforest, man. That was probably like the scariest thing I'd done up until that point in my life. I think after that, for sure, DMT was probably the scariest. But
I mean, I doubt skydiving is going to be more scarier than DMT. I don't know.
No.
I don't think it can be.
No, I don't think anything can be scarier than DMT in terms of like intensity. Maybe like getting hacked up by a chainsaw or something. I don't fucking know.
Heartbreak.
I'm sure there's a few things, but not a lot. Not a lot compares with that kind of craziness of an experience.
That's true. That's true. Well, I guess I'll try for the third time to wrap this up.
It's time. It's time, boys. Let this man wrap it up.
It's time.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Next
Peace.
episode. Bye, guys.